Hello. Welcome to my, what's today? Thursday afternoon Facebook Live. And the time when I love to share with you great ideas and projects and hopefully inspiration for you to go and make something as well. This is my card, one of my cards for our class this week, featuring the washi tape, and I wanted to show you some of the ideas that was in this class, and the use of so this one I've used strawberry slush, cardstock and ink with the pinky flowers, but I'd like to show you what it looks like with the ready flowers on the washi tape. Okay, so here is the extraordinary washi tape, extraordinary flora washi tape. Here it comes on this great big roll. I probably have shown you this before, and what I'm going to do for my project is to open it up and stick it onto this cardstock. Now you can stick it onto all sorts of coloured cardstock. I've seen some fantastic projects where the different cardstock shows up differently underneath the flowers because it's sort of see-through washi tape. There we go. So there's each roll of the washi tape features a series of flowers using the purpley colours and a series of flowers featuring the ready colours. Okay, there is also a stamp set that comes with this that it coordinates perfectly with it, and there's this die that coordinates perfectly with the washi tape as well. So it fits around all of the colours in all of the flowers in each of the colours. Okay, so if you get a piece of cardstock, this one's 8.5 centimetres by about 25 or 26, I think, you'll get both sets of colours. And so because I'm going to change this one up from the pinky colours to the red ones, I'll just cut this one out here. And thankfully this great washi tape and the die also fits easily in our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine too. So I'm going to pop that in there and line up my die. You do have to be a bit careful because the washi tape's a little bit slippery, so it's easy to move your die on the washi tape because it's quite slippery. There we go. So I just run that through, and then you'll see the magic of this amazing coordinating product. That's the amazing thing about Stampin' Up! Is coordination. They do a brilliant job with coordination. Okay, pop these out of the way, and this one, and I don't need those ones, and then these just pop out of the die, all like that, and you've got a whole bunch. Now, I have seen some great tips and hints, and Wheaton Nudge Nudge Ink had a really great tip. When you're cutting out lots of these flowers, stick them all into an ice cube tray to sort them out so that you can see what you've got. And when you're doing a lot of die cutting, they're all ready to go. All right, let's look at this card here. So this card features, I'm using the Impressions of Bloom dies, and in particular, these two fabulous ovals. This one has a stitch detail and cuts out this tiny little frame, and this one cuts out the one in between. So I'm using those ones, and I'm also using a Fancy Borders stamp set. This is an online exclusive stamp set, but I really like this, Sent with Love, and a little hello with a lot of love, because this is a card I can use for all sorts of occasions. Okay, I have done my die cutting, and as I said, this die here has the stitched frame, and you also get this extra oval as well, but I'm only going to use the stitched frame. This is scrap, scrap, and then the other die cuts out the frame. Now these two are not exactly the same size. The little one fits just inside the bigger one, just like that. So when you've got this frame, and I'll be putting it around the outside, it actually overlaps it just a touch. And you have a look, it's just slightly bigger. It's not exactly the same size as that oval, slightly bigger, so it overlaps the edge, okay? And then my card base is white. I do love a white, love white on white effect. And I've done a little bit of extra detail on my card for the front here. Not sure whether you can see, I've scored it with my score blade just 5 times in the middle of the card there, just for a bit of extra, so I can see exactly where the middle of the card is. And I can see that I'll be using the other side because I've got a smudge on there, and then one for inside my card. So I'll keep that one for the front of the card, and this one I'll do my stamping first. So with my strawberry slush, on the inside I'm going to put a little hello with a lot of love. Here we go. A little hello with a lot of love right there. And then on my oval for the front of my card, sent with love. Now, when you're stamping with photopolymer stamps, it is recommended that you do use a piercing mat underneath to give you a good image, but these ones have worked out quite well for me this time. Okay, that's my stamping done. Now, the next bit to do is pop this one around the edge of this. And you know what I'm going to have to do is use glue, of course. But before I do that, I am going to actually pop this one on the front of my card before I do anything else, so that it doesn't get dislodged. I don't create havoc. So I'm just going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. And before I stick that up, I've got to do something else as well. I've just realised I've got a piece of ribbon to go across the middle as well. So you don't see that detail, but at least the score lines will enable me to line it up exactly where I'm going. Now I forgot that I'm using a ill and disabled seal at the moment, so usually I get out a good one, good going out one when I'm doing a video, but I completely forgot today. So there you go, I've got my little score lines lining up where my ribbon goes. Tuck that in at the back, and then I can, just going to add a bit more seal on the back of that. Oh, actually no, not seal, dimensionals, because I'm using dimensionals on it. And anchoring, making sure I'm using the dimensional over the edge of the ribbon there to anchor it in place. And then I can pop this on the front of my card. There we go. And then my Scent with Love also gets popped up on dimensionals, but just to make it easy on myself, I'm using foam strips. Now these strips are usually used for shaker cards, but I just love how easy it is to put dimensionals all around the edge of this shape. And they also, this foam strip is also a little bit higher, so it gives you a much more dynamic raised image on your card. There we go. Pop this right there, Scent with Love. And now the most magnificent frame, which is the front. Oh, lucky I had a good look at that. I'm just putting less is more with this stuff. Just the tiniest bit around the edges. Not much at all. Teeny tiny. There we go. Because it goes everywhere, splodges everywhere when you pop it on. All right. And stick that right on the edge. There. Hang on. Calm your farm, Julia. Now look, see, I've put glue everywhere already. I'm hopeless. Hopeless at this stuff. So you know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be putting flowers where those splodges of glue are to camouflage them. That's made that decision easy for me. I've got glue there, and I'll be sticking flowers right over the top of that. Right, and these guys, easy peasy, just going to stick them off on with dimensionals. So cover that mess to begin with, and cover this mess down here to continue, and I love the effect of the, hang on, where will I go this, that way? I'm using all my red flowers here. I love the red flower. I love the combination of the strawberry slush and the beautiful flowers. There we go, and that one there. There we go. And perhaps, oh, here we go. Now, I've forgotten, I've got a ribbon on this original one, so I'm going to see if I can salvage my card here with a bit of ribbon. This beautiful ribbon, I think it's from an online exclusive suite. So if you bought it this week, you could possibly get it with the suite deal. I think it comes with the celebratory sips suite. But it's such a beautiful, soft ribbon, easy to use. Okay, so I'm going to stick you there. And the best way to stick ribbon, in my opinion, is to use a mini glue dot. I'm a huge fan of mini glue dots because they stick and they're not wet. There we go. Stick you there. And I want to put this rose buds somewhere because I've got rose there. So I might just pop you, now that I've got my rose in position. No, this ribbon in position. I'll put the buds there. Okay, so that's the front of my card done. Doesn't the washi tape flowers make it easy to stick together? So easy. Okay. Where's my inside? Oh, here it is. Now these guys, I'm going to add just a little bit of my disabled seal. So what I'm doing with this seal is it stuck on itself, so I'm only using it with half a case, and each time I'm using it, I'm pulling the plastic through, so it doesn't, even though it broke, it's not getting wasted. I can still use it to stick. It still works quite well, but as it's rolling in on itself, I have to keep pulling it out. There we go. And a couple more red flowers on my, whoops, pulling you. There we are, red flower there. Red flower, oops. Actually, I might do another little bit of, you could also use, if you're a fan of glue, that would work very nicely with these guys too. There we go. And a little bit more leaf up the top, and this little red flower. I've used almost all of the flowers from my die cut. There we are. And then I can add this to the inside of my card. Oop. There we are. And last of all, add some of these beautiful gold flower accents. These are really low profile, got very nice and flat. So they're good for putting on cards. They don't bulge too much. You know how sometimes things can bulge. One there, and one there, and one more up the top. There we go. So which is your favourite? The strawberry slush with the pinky colours or the strawberry slush with the reddy flowers. This washi tape is so easy and so fun and so beautiful. And those flowers effectively covered up all my gluey bits. So they are now the hero of the project, in my opinion. Thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward, actually, I'll just tell you now, I won't be coming on next Thursday because I'll be camping, sitting in the sun, reading my book, hopefully. So I'll see you in a fortnight's time. Bye-bye now.